Hi everyone, hope you're having a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Nick, and in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the emerging, fascinating LMD company, Workhorse. If you haven't already, please go hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. While you're at it, absolutely demolish that like button. There's sound effects everywhere. The production value is just insane on this channel. Anyways, guys, I would appreciate it. It does help the channel grow. I'm gonna be doing lots of videos like this, stock analyses, IPOs, everything personal finance. I do the work so you don't have to, so go hit that subscribe button. All right, without further ado, let's get right into it. Recently, there has been very promising news coming out of the Workhorse camp. To set the stage, Workhorse is an electric vehicle company positioned in LMD, or last mile delivery vehicles. Now, this is a bit of a misnomer. It's not actually the last mile. That wouldn't make much sense. It's actually the journey of the product from the warehouse to the consumer's doorstep. This is a niche market, however, it is rapidly growing with over 350,000 LMD vehicles purchased by US fleets every single year at a realized market capitalization of $18 billion. This number will only increase in the coming years and decades as e-commerce really takes off. People don't want to be shopping as much anymore. They would rather just click a button online and have the product come to them rather than them going to the product. In my opinion, this is an incredibly good niche to currently be in. They're seeing the long-term potential of LMD. Many companies are realizing the cost effectiveness and optimization of shifting from an old traditional combustion gas engine, shifting away from that and towards an electric vehicle, which also helps out the environment. Many companies are seeing this as the future, and Workhorse is one of those companies very well positioned for the future landscape. If we look at their current stock price, we can see a strong support line emerging around $15 USD. However, a stagnant month of July after an immense surge in late June. This initial correction was to be predicted. However, what pleasantly surprised me is how small of a correction this was. The stock has been able to maintain some vigor throughout July, unlike many other EV companies that have seen much more volatility. This relative stability may be indicating that investors truly believe in Workhorse's long-term potential and the unique position they currently maintain. I also want to note that I do think the current price of $17 will see somewhat of a dip yet again to around that $15 range, as it is looking quite bearish. And I would not be surprised to see somewhat stagnant rates until results of the USPS contract become more clear, all of which I'll talk about later on in the video. So let's start with the big news. Workhorse learned very early on to diversify and invest in other EV manufacturing companies. They own 10% of Lordstown Motors, which has a market valuation approximately of $1 billion. Now, Lordstown Motors is an electric vehicle company primarily positioned in manufacturing electric pickup trucks. They are a direct competition to the Cybertruck. Yes, we all know that Cybertruck, that futuristic Elon Musk's world, we're just living in it. Pointy, sleek, metal thing. Now, although this truck is interesting, shall we say, I think it really only appeals to a very small percentage of the general public looking to buy an electric pickup truck. I don't think it captures the attention of the everyday person who just wants to buy an electric pickup truck without looking like they play in Daft Punk or, I don't know, just, it's too flashy for a lot of people. I think Lordstown Motors, with their new electric pickup truck, will be able to capture up this market who just wants a conventional looking pickup truck while going green and without it being pointy. They want a rooftop. Where do you put your morning coffee on you can't with the Cybertruck. Now, the big news is that Lordstown Motors has released intent to go public. They're trying to get as much funding as possible to make this car a reality. This bodes very well for Workhorse, who, like I said, own 10% of Lordstown Motors, which should also relay to a surging stock price. Now, the good news for Lordstown Motors is that they do own their own factory and are completely vertically integrated. This means they can produce, design, and manufacture their own trucks all internally. This should drastically increase their gross margins as they don't have to outsource anything. I will have a specific video dedicated solely to Lordstown Motors and their stock in the coming weeks, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Many large companies, one of them being the United States Postal Service or USPS, is actively looking to update their pre-existing fleet, which is approximately 30 years old at this point. They are looking to update this aging fleet and are looking to go green. They finalized a bidding on July 14th of a contract worth up to $6 billion to one or more bidders to produce up to 200,000 LMDs. This is a massive contract and would generate tons of revenue. Results have not been finalized, but it was recognized that Workhorse was within the 4 front-running companies to win part or all of this contract. The other 3 being Carson, Mahindra, and Ford. In my opinion, Workhorse is the most forward-thinking out of the bunch, with brand new electric vehicles, the C650 and the C1000, fully optimized and paired with a completely autonomous drone service, the Horsefly. I would not be surprised in the least, 2, 5, 10 years down maybe, drones becoming a very essential part of delivering products. The Horsefly is able to optimize shipping costs of up to about 95%, which is insane, and during this health situation, I can see them becoming an essential asset. This fully autonomous drone delivery service and electric vehicle combination that Workhorse provides is completely unparalleled in my opinion. They also provide their customers with a very unique inside look into their analytics, which gives full transparency to their entire product, their entire services, and really allows customers to optimize. As for the USPS $6 billion contract, it would be highly unusual to allot this entire amount to only one company. I really can only see this being divvied up 3, maybe 4 ways. So a much more realistic scenario would be to have Workhorse receive maybe $1 to $2 billion of this contract, but even then we are talking about a massive source of revenue. They have already won 6 previous contracts from USPS, totaling about 1,345 LMDs thus far. This boasts very well for them, as they have already established connections with the company USPS. Seeing some revenue injected into this company would calm investors, attract more investors, and in my opinion would surge the stock price. The company was recently upgraded by BTIG analysts. They are well positioned for the future landscape. They have a great drone delivery service unit. If they do receive a portion of this USPS contract, I would not be surprised to see a large valuation surge. And what's more important is that at that point, they will be on the roads, they will be making a name for themselves, really grounding themselves, gaining a foothold in the world of electric vehicles. Now, once they have a foothold, many other companies will flock towards them, realizing the insane upside potential of pairing drones with electric vehicles. And with their Metron analysis division, I really can see big things for the stock in the coming years. Looking at other EV companies, the mass shift we're currently living in, our economics, the current health situation, I would not be surprised in the least to see 100% gain for this time next year if they do receive part or all of the USPS contract. We are looking at a shift in the way people fundamentally drive. It really is the golden age of electric. However, their future is somewhat teetering on this USPS contract and the performance of Lordstown. It's important to note that any EV company really does have short-term volatility. You as an investor should be only looking long-term. Look for the long-term potential in the companies. Don't try to come in here and make a quick buck. It's not that easy. So if you're going in with that attitude, you won't be as rattled by this short-term volatility. We do see a nice support line emerging around $15. So that should calm investors for the meantime if you bought in previous to that. If you haven't bought in, I would look for a little dip personally. However, don't just take my word for it because I'm saying it on the internet. It is so important that you do your own analysis, gain as much information as you possibly can to come to your own conclusion and formulate your own opinions. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. I really do appreciate you watching. Go hit that subscribe button. I'm doing lots of videos like this, as I've already said. Demolish that like one more time, and take care and happy trading.